Thank you all for joining us today for the GPAC post-game press conference. We have head coach Cody Schilling and student-athlete Tameron Ferguson from Augustana University. The Vikings are advancing to the semifinals of the 2026 NSIC men's basketball tournament after an 83-82 overtime thriller quarterfinal action here against the MSU Dragons. We'll start off with the opening statement from head coach Cody Schilling and then open it up for any questions. Coach?
I appreciate it. Hey, hopefully I got a little bit of a voice left, but what an exciting game. First off, Coach Kemp and Moorhead, wow. We knew it when they went and beat Northern State on the road on Wednesday. I told my guys Thursday at practice, I said, this is a team playing really well right now. I said, they're guarding at a high level, they're rebounding at a high level, they shoot the ball at a high level. Man, they're no fun to play, I tell you what. And so they were well prepared. They're a well-coached team. They play extremely hard. They're a versatile team. They got a lot of guys that can shoot it and put it on the floor. And then obviously Payne down low is a load to try to guard one-on-one. But proud of our guys, proud of our perseverance, proud of how we stayed together. I thought our communication was great down the stretch. I thought our execution was great down the stretch. We started stringing some stops together, getting clean stops and clean rebounds, and just so proud of our guys. This guy right here, to have a double-double when it's points and rebounds as a point guard is pretty impressive. But, Caden Hinker, a double-double, Tanner Tesla, 18 points. And just, again, Sam Wrench did some great things. Bennett Freed came off the bench, had 12 points for us. I can't say enough good things about our bench. Bennett Freed had a great game. Amari Westmoreland, Vendiola had a great game. Marcus Talley stepped up and gave us a couple big minutes when this guy was cramping up and I think puking behind the bench. But it was just next man up. Jack Hofstreiter hit a huge corner three, in the first half when we needed some momentum, when we needed some scoring, when Sam and Hink were out with foul trouble. So just a total team effort, and that's what it takes. If you want to play into March and you want a chance to win this thing, we all know how good the teams, all 8 teams are incredible teams. They're well-coached teams. They're teams that really score it and they shoot it, 1 through 5. And so just proud of our guys of the way that they stuck together. Our team motto is tougher together. And I thought tonight in winning time, especially in overtime, we just emphasized being the tougher team and stringing together stops. And lucky and fortunate for us, we were able to do that.
Yeah, Tab, Coach mentioned your rebounding. You had 4 offensive boards in the second half after kind of a slow start offensively. Do you think that kind of helped gear you up offensively, gave you a little bit of juice for that second half?
Yeah, my points wasn't falling in the first half, so I just wanted to find other ways to make winning plays. And I think getting on the offensive glass, I found opportunities to get kickouts and other things, and it just led to my success coming later down the stretch.
Tam, yeah, just was there anything specifically that you felt like they were doing to bottle you up a little bit in the first half? I mean, just walk me through what you feel like allowed you to open up offensively in the second half there.
Yeah, they were hard hedging me, trying to get the ball at my hand. So then in the second half, I kind of just adjusted, let the game come to me, don't force it. And then once they let back off, I just had to take my man one-on-one and try to get a bucket that way.
Yeah, Coach, 10 of 18 from three-point range. Obviously, that was huge. And when you talk about some of the free throws you guys missed down the stretch, just how important was that three-point shooting tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Tanner Tesla kind of got us started in the first half, and it seemed like then he got it going a little bit in the second half too. And so for him to be 5 of 8 from 3 was incredible. This guy hit a couple of huge ones. It just felt like we didn't make a ton of threes, only obviously 10 of them, but it felt like we were taking and making the right ones. A couple things. We got to clean up some stuff on the glass, clean up some little miscues on the defensive end, and then we got to make free throws. For as well as this guy played, I guarantee we walk out of here tonight, he's going to be like, Coach, I got to make those last 2 because I know how competitive he is. But we just did just enough to find a way to win, and we stuck together. And like I said, I'm just so proud of this team. I really am.
I think you guys had I believe it was like a 7 or 8 point lead there in the second half, and then they went on a 16-2 run to just kind of really grab momentum of the game. What did you like about just kind of the way your guys fought back and punched back after they put together that run? I think it was about 6-7 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We went on a nice little run ourselves, like you said, to go up about 7-8 points. And then Hinker picked up his 3rd foul, and Sam picked up his 3rd foul. And, we got into a lineup that maybe we haven't played a lot together. And it just seemed like for whatever, the ball got really sticky and the ball wasn't moving. And so I called timeout, and, we kind of said, hey, we're going to roll with guys. We can't sit here and be scared that they have 3 and 4 fouls. And it seemed like when we brought our guys back, we just settled down a little bit. He got us into our offense, did a great job of just settling guys down, and that's what a point guard and a quarterback's got to do. But I just thought, again, both teams just went on runs. It just felt like a heavyweight boxing match tonight of, we'd win a round, they'd win a round. It was just back and forth and back and forth. And I think I told these guys at the 5-minute media, at the 3-minute timeout, in overtime, I said, hey, stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. All we got to do is land the last haymaker and win this thing. I don't care if it's by one. And it just so happened, we got him a high flat ball screen. And, he kind of just had a side push dribble, and, he just felt like his feet were set and he could let it go, and he made a big-time three. And then as a team, we got a big-time stop down the stretch. So, proud of him for stepping up and making a big shot as a sophomore and as a team leader for us. And I think, that's a big reason, too, why he was voted, by our coaches as the South Player of the Year. So proud of the young man that he is, proud of how humble he is, proud of the team-first guy that he is, too, because sometimes, when guys are putting up big stats, it kind of gets to be about them. And that's not this kid right here to my left. He's all about the team. He's all about winning. He's a big-time competitor. And when we talk about tougher together, he's the big reason, because he keeps guys together in huddles and when things are going great and when things are maybe a little sour.
Yeah, he hits the big shot, swirls it in, and they had 16 seconds left on the clock, Coach, and I'm curious to know, defensively, Issa had the ball, I know, but he forced it out of his hands, and did you feel like that was kind of a key on that final possession?
Yeah, it was one of those things where, I kind of grabbed Sam Wrench and I said, hey, make someone else beat us. We had a foul to give, so we could be a little more physical with him. And if the foul was called, great, they got to take it out of bounds, But I thought, Sam did a good job down the stretch. Tam did a good job on him for a while there. And, it's when you're playing 44 minutes, we had to kind of give him a break off of Issa a little bit too. But, just again, team defense, they luckily we had a good sink and fill. They threw it away, game over. So it was fun to see us hit the big shot, but win the game on the defensive end, because that's something we preach, is letting our defense lead to our offense. And I think a lot of people look at us and say, okay, you're a high-powered offense. You average 84.5 points a game. You got all these shooters all over the place, but we pride ourselves in guarding at a high level. So it was fun to see us get a big stop to win the game.
Yeah, how about just the balanced scoring too tonight?
So fun. I tell these guys all the time, I said, when we, again, 4 guys in double figures and a couple guys that were hovering it, when we have 4 or 5 guys in double figures and we share the ball the way that we need to, 16 assists, if we have a stat, I think when we're like 15 plus assists on the season, I think we win like 95%. Andy's the stat guy, right? But 95% of our games. And so for us to be 60, one of our goals every single night is 15 plus assists. And so for us to be at 16, we hit our goal. But we got to do a little better job of taking care of the ball. Like Tam said in the first half, a little bit of their high hard hedging and blitzing bothered us at times. And they were being ultra physical. They were trying to do a great job of taking it out of his hands. And we made some good adjustments at halftime. He allowed trusted his teammates, get it out of his hands, get it back into his hands. So just, again, proud of him, the maturity that he showed to kind of be willing to give it up a little bit earlier and, in and out of ball screens. But again, so proud of our guys for stepping up, making shots, sharing the ball the way that we did, giving up good shots for great shots all night long. And that's what it takes to win in late February and early March.
Well, Tam, you guys are going to see, obviously, Southwest Minnesota State or Minnesota Duluth here on Monday. And what?
We'll play Concordia St.
Oh, well, I had it wrong. My fault. I mixed up. Is that women's side? I don't know. Anyways, you guys are going to play a game on Monday, and I'm just curious to know, what's the mindset kind of going into, what's the mindset for this team as you get a day off, a day of break, to have a break, but you've been on the stage before, and I'm curious to know maybe what you've learned from last season, maybe taking into this year.
Yeah, whoever we play, we're going to be ready. We're going to come prepared. We just want to obviously win. We look at our seniors, and it could be their last game. So just having that mindset going into it, like this could potentially be our last game, and no one wants that. So whoever we play, we're going to give them their best. So.
Yeah, Coach, any thoughts? I mean, just on having the day break and how you guys tackle that?
Yeah, obviously CSP and Duluth, they're both incredible teams, well-coached teams. They both can score in the 80s and 90s. CSP is not afraid to get in the hundreds, but it will be good. It'll be good for us to have a day off tomorrow. We'll get in and shoot, watch some film, try to clean some stuff up. But that's part of being a top 2 seed is that day off. And that's why I told our guys that the work that we did in the first 27 games of the season allowed us to play a really tough competitive game tonight, have a day off, get out here, watch a live scout tomorrow. and then get ready for Monday. But I'll tell you what, whoever wins that game, whoever wins the other one, the 4 semifinal teams, obviously with us and Cloud, moving forward, this is going to be a heck of a semifinal matchup. There's going to be 4 really good basketball teams on Monday. The championship's going to be incredible, and I think we're just happy and blessed to be a part of it.
That's all I got.
Coach and Tam, Augie's last semifinal appearance, 2022. Coach, your first one, but Tam, just talk a little bit about what that means to you, and obviously Coach as well.
Yeah, it means a lot. Got on the stage last year, unfortunately lost first round, so I was eager to get back here, and obviously went tonight, and we came up with a big win, so I was eager.
Yeah, so proud of these guys. Like I was telling JJ, our radio guy, like you just look at the crowd tonight in the last, our last 5 home games. It's been absolutely incredible. Our game versus USF, our game versus St. Cloud State, our game versus Mankato, and we can keep going, Duluth, Bemidji. But it feels like the Augie fan base, not that they ever went away, but man, there's been a resurgence the last 3 weeks, and it's been fun. And it reminds me of the days when I was playing, and Casey and Dan and those guys in 2015-16 were playing, and our team in 21-22, that obviously made a run and lost in the Sweet 16 to Northwest Missouri State. And it just feels like, man, when you're coaching and our guys are feeding. Our student section was incredible. Our alumni base was incredible. The Augie fan base, I can't say enough good things about. And they need to know, too, that they make a difference and that these guys feed off of that. And so I'm excited to see what the Augie fan base looks like on Monday night.
Tam, Coach, thanks for your time. Today's post-game press conference. Good luck in the semifinals on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.